Good morning, everyone. In this lesson, we are going to study about space wave propagation. The learning outcomes of this lesson are define space wave propagation, the properties of space wave, advantages of space wave propagation, applications of space wave propagation. In the last class, we have studied about types of wave propagation, ground wave propagation in detail, types of wave propagation review. There are various methods for propagation of waves. They are ground waves. They are also known as surface wave propagation. The second one is the sky wave. It is also known as a ionospheric propagation. Then space wave propagation. It is also known as direct wave propagation or line of sight wave propagation. Tropospheric scatter propagation, extraterrestrial propagation or a satellite communication. Waves travel in straight line. Frequencies above HF generally travel in straight lines. They propagate by means of so-called waves. And when the waves are propagating through the surface, we call it as surface wave propagation. When the waves are propagated in the space, troposphere above the ground level, we call it as space wave propagation. Then when the waves strike the troposphere and return back, tropospheric scatter propagation. When the waves are passing through the ionosphere and reflected by the ionosphere, and we collect the reflected waves at the receiving end, it is called as ionospheric propagation. And the waves are penetrating through the layers of the atmosphere and they can reach up to the satellite, and then processing is done in the satellite and they will be returned back toward the receiving station. That is called extraterrestrial propagation and satellite communication. In the previous lesson, we also studied about ground wave propagation. It is also known as surface wave propagation. Ground wave is that electromagnetic waves which is guided along the surface of the earth. The ground wave, as being produced by vertical antennas, is vertically polarized to prevent short circuiting the electric component. The ground wave propagate along the surface of the earth, induces charges in earth which travel with wave and hence constitute a current. The ground wave guides around the curvature of the earth. When transmitting and receiving antennas are close to the surface of the earth, propagation is mainly due to the surface wave. For medium waves, long waves, and very long wave frequencies, ground wave propagation is possible. Ground wave propagation is possible up to 2 megahertz. So a wave induces currents in the ground as it passes and thus loses energy by absorption. However, this is made up to a certain extent by energy diffracted downward from the upper portion of the wavefront. The behavior of an earth as a conductor may be described in terms of conductivity and dielectric constant, as we have seen. Above 2 megahertz, attenuation by earth is more, hence the ground wave propagation makes use of 2 megahertz frequencies. This is a pictorial view of ground wave propagation. As the wave propagates over the earth, this is the surface of the earth and the wavefronts are traveling from transmitter to receiver. Vertically polarized antennas are used. As the wave propagates over the earth, it tilts over more and more, and the increase in tilt, this increase in tilt causes greater short circuiting of the electric field component of the wave, and hence field strength reduces. Ground wave propagation is widely used for local broadcasting in the daytime. The ground wave suffers varying amount of attenuation while propagating along the curvature of the earth, depending upon the frequencies. Surface irregularities, permittivity and conductivity are also taken into account. Earth's attenuation increases as the frequency increases, and hence this mode of propagation is suitable for low and medium frequencies, that is up to 2 megahertz. That is why ground wave propagation is also called as medium wave propagation. Radiation from an antenna by means of ground wave gives rise to field strength at a distance, which may be calculated by using the formula E equal to 120 pi ht I by lambda d. If the receiving antenna is placed at this point, the voltage induced in the receiving antenna is given by the formula 120 pi ht hr by lambda d, where 120 pi is the characteristic impedance of the free space, ht is the effective height of the transmitting antenna, hr is the effective height of the receiving antenna, I is the antenna current, d is the distance from the transmitting antenna, lambda is the wavelength. So by making use of that expression, we can know the field strength and the voltage calculation. In this lesson, we will be going to study about space wave propagation. It is also called as direct wave propagation. The other name for space wave propagation is the line of sight propagation. Space waves are called direct waves, which travel in straight line. However, since they depend on line of sight condition, space waves are limited in their propagation by curvature of the Earth. Thus, they propagate similar to the electromagnetic waves in the free space. Space waves are line of sight wave propagation is useful at higher frequencies, that is in the VHF, UHF, and microwave from 30 megahertz onwards. This mode of propagation is through to troposphere, that portion of the atmosphere which extend from Earth's surface to the height up to 15 kilometers. Line of sight communication is normally abbreviated as LOS and is limited to few tens of kilometers. Space wave propagation is defined for the radio waves that occur within 20 kilometers of the atmosphere. At a height of 20 kilometers, we have the troposphere. We are making use of the propagation just above the ground. We make use of the towers. Antennas are located on the top of the towers. Normally the towers 100 meters are on the top of the hill areas. So we can transmit the signal within the troposphere directly below the 20 kilometers atmospheric range, comprising of direct wave and reflected wave. We have direct waves and the reflected waves. So space wave propagation, it is the radio wave propagation that occurs within the 20 kilometers of the atmosphere. That is, we can make use of the troposphere. We can transmit the waves directly, and some waves will be reflected by the ground and they can be received at the distant end. And these waves are also known as a tropospheric propagation, as they can travel directly from the Earth's surface to the tropospheric surface of the Earth. It is also known as a line of sight propagation, as the signals are sent in straight line from transmitter to the receiver. Since the waves are transmitted line of sight propagation, so the waves are sent in straight line from transmitter to the receiving antenna. Space wave propagation is defined for the radio waves that occur within 20 kilometers of the atmosphere, that is troposphere, comprising of direct and reflected waves. These waves are also known as tropospheric propagation waves, as they can travel directly from the Earth's surface to the troposphere surface of the Earth. Since space wave propagation, we call it as also as a direct wave propagation or line of sight wave propagation. Space waves are direct waves which travel in straight line. However, since they depend on line of sight condition, space waves are limited in their properties by curvature of Earth. Thus, they propagate similar to the electromagnetic waves in free space. Space waves or line of sight propagation is useful at higher frequencies, that is at VHF, UHF, starting from 30 megahertz onwards. This mode of propagation is through troposphere, that portion of the atmosphere which extend from surface to a height up to 15 kilometers. Line of sight communication normally abbreviated as LOS and is limited to few tens of kilometers. Hence, space wave propagation is defined for the radio waves that occur within 20 kilometers of the atmosphere, that is troposphere, comprising of direct and reflected waves. These waves are also known as tropospheric propagation, as they can travel directly from the Earth's surface to the troposphere surface of the Earth. So see the structure of the space wave propagation. We have a transmitting antenna located on the top of the tower, and we have the receiving antenna. This antenna is tilted such that it is looking the receiving antenna. Both the antennas are looking each other. So we have the waves 1, 2, 3. If we take a wave directly passing from transmitter to receiving antenna through the path 1, it is the direct wave. So at the receiving antenna, the waves are generally received directly from the transmitting antenna. This is the path followed by the direct wave. Since the antennas are looking each other, there is a direct wave communication or a line of sight communication. Some of the waves are passing randomly in the space and they are striking the ground. Ground acts as a reflector for those frequencies, and the reflected waves are also collected at the receiving antenna. The path 2, we call it as a ground reflected wave. And path 3, it goes up to certain height, up to the troposphere. Then they will be reflected by the layers of the troposphere, and then that will be receiving back. Below the troposphere propagation, we are making use of. Up to 15 kilometers, these waves will be reflected from the atmosphere. The reflection properties of the atmosphere we are making use of, because the wave is going through the layers here and they will be reflected, and those reflected signals are received at the receiving antenna. And hence, at the receiving antenna, we will be receiving the direct wave, ground reflected wave, and the reflected waves from the different atmospheric layers of the troposphere. So this diagram shows mostly how the waves will be propagated directly and the ground wave. The radio wave from transmitting antenna. See here, this is the transmitting antenna located on the top of the tower, and this is the receiving antenna located on the top of the tower. Both the heights should be same if there is no tilt. If there is a tilting of antenna, we can make use of low height towers at the receiving. The antennas should look each other. Since we are making use of UHF, VHF, and microwave range of frequencies, the transmitting and receiving antennas should be of microwave antennas. Normally, dish antennas are used for this particular application. So dish antennas are focusing each other. The transmitter radiates the microwave signal. Here we have a transmitting station. Modulation is done, up conversion is done up to the required level of frequency, power amplification. Then the modulated wave is converted in the form of electromagnetic waves by using transmitting antenna, and this electrical signal is converted into electromagnetic wave. The electromagnetic waves are propagating through the space. Some of the waves are directly reached by the receiving antenna. Some of the waves are propagating like this, and they will be reflected by the ground, and then we have the reflected wave from the ground, and most of the transmissions is through direct wave, and ground reflected wave is also taken into account. The total field strength here is equal to the sum of the direct wave and the ground reflected wave, and also sometimes the reflections from the other layers of the atmosphere. So the radio waves from transmitting antenna reaches the receiving antenna through two paths, namely direct wave, that is the TR, and after the reflection from the ground wave, so TOR, ground reflected wave, and we have the height of the transmitting antenna, HT, and the height of the receiving antenna, HR. The resultant field strength we can calculate at the receiving antenna, which is at a distance of D. This is the distance of D between transmitter and receiver. We can calculate the field strength ER equal to 2E naught sine of 2 pi HT HR by lambda D. 2E naught sine of 2 pi HT HR by lambda D. E naught is the field strength, and HT is the height of the transmitting antenna. HR is the height of the receiving antenna. Lambda is the wavelength of the wave, and D is the spacing between the transmitter and the receiver. That is the propagation distance. This is another diagram showing the line of sight propagation above 30 megahertz. We have a transmitting antenna. This is the curvature of the earth is included because the space wave is propagating to large distances by making use of repeaters in between the route. So we have a transmitting station, receiving station. In between the transmitting and receiving station, we can make use of the repeaters. In microwave communication through space wave line of sight communication, we are making use of repeaters for every 50 kilometers between transmitter and receiver along the length of the route. So at every 50 kilometers, we can make use of the repeater. The function of the repeater is to receive the signal transmitted by the transmitting station or the other receiver repeater, amplify the received signal, then retransmit toward the distant end. So the repeater should have the receiving antenna to receive the signal, amplifying stage to amplify the signal, and again transmitting antenna which is looking toward the receiving end. So we can make use of propagation like this through the space wave, and finally we can receive the signal at the distant end. This is a line of sight propagation. It is a direct wave propagation. The waves are directly received from transmitting antenna to the receiving antenna, and sometimes the ground will act as a reflector. These waves are also reflected by the ground. We can receive the signal at this point. So the signal received at the receiving antenna is equal to the sum of the direct wave and the ground reflected wave mostly, and sometimes there are reflections above the level. So we can take into consideration of all these to calculate the field strength received at the receiving antenna. The electric field strength received at the receiving antenna is given by the formula 2E naught sine of 2 pi HT HR by lambda T, where HT is the height of the transmitting antenna, HR is the height of the receiving antenna, lambda is the wavelength of the wave, and D is the spacing between the transmitter and receiver. So this is another structure shows the space wave propagation. This is the transmitting antenna, receiving antenna. Since for long distance communication, the curvature of the earth is also included. This is the distance, dt is the distance up to the wave striking the ground. dr is the distance beyond that point toward the receiving antenna. The total distance of transmission from transmitting antenna to the receiving antenna is small d, which is nothing but dt plus dr. Dt is the distance from transmitter to the surface of the earth where the waves are striking the ground here for the long distance communication. Then from there we have the path transmission distance dr. The total distance we also call it as radio horizon for space wave. D is radio horizon or the distance between transmitting antenna and the receiving antenna, which is equal to dt plus dr. Ht is the height of the transmitting antenna. The waves are propagating directly toward the receiving antenna, or sometimes the waves are reflected by the ground and they will be received. So the total distance or the radio horizon is given by the formula dt plus dr, which is approximately equal to root 2 ht plus root 2 hr, where d we are calculating in miles and ht is the height of the transmitting antenna in feet and hr is the receiving antenna height in feet. So based on the heights, we can have the distance of transmission. The height of the antennas, either transmitting antenna is or receiving antenna heights are increased, we can cover to maximum distance. Because distance is directly proportional to height, so radio horizon for space wave is about 4/3 as far as the optical horizon, or it is root 2 ht in terms of miles. If you consider ht and hr, it is root 2 ht plus root 2 hr. When the height of the receiving antenna is small, it is located on the ground, hr is 0, then the distance is just equal to root 2 hr. In space wave propagation, the height above the ground is very important. The higher the antenna, longer will be the range of reception. So if we have more antenna heights, so more distance we can propagate the signal. The range for line of sight propagation can sometimes be extended by diffraction. We have studied the phenomena of diffraction, the bending of the electromagnetic wave around the edge of an obstacle, that is through mountains or through rough surfaces or irregular atmospheric surfaces, particularly if there is a relatively sharp obstacle such as mountain peak in its way. So we can propagate the signal, we can cover, extend it by means of diffraction. And hence, in space wave propagation, the height above the ground is very important. The higher the antenna, longer will be the range of reception. The range for line of sight propagation can sometimes be extended by diffraction, particularly if there is a relative sharp obstacle such as mountain peak in its way. The radio waves from transmitting antenna T reaches the receiving antenna R through two paths, namely direct wave and the ground reflected wave. If we take into account of height of the transmitting antenna and receiving antenna, let HT and HR be the height of the transmitting and receiving antennas. The resultant field strength ER at the receiving antenna, which is at a distance d from the transmitting antenna, is given by the formula 2E0 sine 2 pi HT/HR by lambda t. HT is the height of the transmitting antenna, HR is the height of the receiving antenna, and lambda is the wavelength, and d is the spacing between transmitter and receiver. However, diffraction greatly reduces the signal strength. We have seen the diffraction increases the range of propagation, but there are diffraction effects, reduces the signal strength, requires more powerful transmitters and more sensitive receivers. The more powerful transmitter means the power level at the transmitter should be high. We should make use of the high power transmitters. We have to use classic power amplifiers, higher power amplifiers to generate higher power levels so that we can transmit it to long distance by keeping into account of reflections, refractions, and interference, more often diffractions. And the receiver should be of more sensitive. The sensitivity of the receiver should be more, better sensitivity should be there. The receiver should be capable of receiving the signal even for the small input electromagnetic wave picked up by the receiving antenna. And therefore, space wave propagation, we require two important properties. One is more powerful transmission and more sensitive reception. These two are very important conditions. The transmitter should be powerful enough. We have to use power amplifier, chain of power amplifier stages to increase the power level. And more sensitive receivers, we have to use super heterodyne receivers in the receiver so that the sensitivity is improved, selectivity is improved, fidelity is improved. Sensitivity of the radio receiver is the ability of the receiver to amplify the weak signals. It is the minimum voltage that can be applied at the input of the receiver to get the standard output. How much minimum voltage that we can apply at the input of the receiver such that the receiver produces the standard output. If the receiver is having better sensitivity, even for low voltage signals induced by the receiving antenna, there is a signal at the output of the receiver. And hence, the two most important properties for the important requirements for the space wave propagation are powerful transmitters and more sensitive receivers. Not only that, the selectivity of the receiver should be good. We require good selectivity. The selectivity is the term associated with the radio receiver to select the wanted signal and to reject the unwanted signals so that the nearby adjacent channels or adjacent signals will be eliminated to a large extent, picking up the wanted signal. So selectivity is also one of the important criteria. That is the reason for improved selectivity, we have to make use of super heterodyne receivers at the receiving side. So we should also consider the fidelity criteria. Fidelity is the faithful reproduction of all frequency components present in the message at the output of the receiver. So we can make use of audio amplifier stages, power amplifier stages, multi-stage cascaded amplifier, common emitter amplifier to provide uniform mid-band gain so that all the frequency components present in the voice or the message can be reproduced properly. The attenuation of free space is usually the most important factor in determining the signal power at the receiver. If the space is providing more attenuation, and we have to take into consideration of signal power levels at the receiver. At the receiver, we are considering signal to noise ratio. Signal power alone cannot be calculated. At the receiver side, we can calculate signal to noise ratio. And we have to see that this SNR, signal to noise ratio, should be far greater than 1 such that the signal can be recovered properly in presence of noise. So if the channel is offering more attenuation and we have to transmit more amount of signal power so that we can increase signal to noise ratio at the receiver side, and we can make use of bandwidth considerations. We can make use of more bandwidth for the exchange of signal to noise ratio. If we increase the bandwidth, we can provide more signal to noise ratio. So the space wave propagation, depending on keeping in view of the distance between transmitter and receiver, we can make use of the signal to noise ratio calculations. For that, we see the attenuation, how much the signal level is deteriorated, attenuated. Based on that, we can go for calculations such that we can get more signal to noise ratio at the receiving end. The radio origin or the maximum distance between transmitter and receiver in space wave propagation is given by the formula. This formula is with respect to kilometers, meters distance, as we have seen in feet distances. If the distance between transmitter and receiver is d equal to dt plus dr, dt is up to transmitting antenna up to the ground striking, then from ground striking to the receiving antenna is dr. So the radio origin or the maximum distance between the transmitter and receiver is given by the formula 4 root ht plus 4 root hr. In this formula, d will be the distance we are calculating in kilometers. If we provide height of the transmitting antenna in meters, ht is the height of the transmitting antenna and hr is the height of the receiving antenna. Both should be in meters. If they are in meters, if we use this formula 4 root ht plus 4 root hr, we can get the value d in terms of kilometers. So the radio origin of an antenna is given by an empirical formula. This is an empirical formula 4 root ht plus 4 root hr. If the receiving antenna is located just on the ground, hr is 0, then the radio origin is given by the formula 4 root ht. It entirely depends upon the height of the transmitting antenna. If the height of the receiving antenna is 0. dt is the distance from transmitting antenna above ground in kilometers, and height of the antenna should be in meters. The same formula can be applied to the receiving antenna also. Thus, the total distance between the transmitter and receiver is given by the formula 4 root of ht plus 4 root of hr, ht and hr in terms of meters and d in terms of kilometers. For example, if you take a problem here, calculate the radio horizon for a transmitting antenna, height 225 meters above the ground level. Assume that the receiving antenna is located on the ground. Then the formula is 4 root ht, hr is 0, 4 root ht, 4 into root of 225, 4 into 15, 60 kilometers is the distance of coverage. So when the transmitting antenna is at a height of 225 meters and the receiving antenna is located on the ground, then we can transmit the signal up to 60 kilometers distance. Another example, calculate the distance between transmitter and receiver for a transmitting antenna of height 225 meters and receiving antenna of height 16 kilometers above the ground. Here we have taken into account of the receiving antenna height. Then the radio horizon or the distance between transmitter and receiver is given by the formula 4 root ht plus 4 root hr, 4 into root 225 plus 4 into root 16, that is 4 into 15 plus 4 into 4, that is equal to 76 kilometers. In the previous class, we obtained it as 60 kilometers. When the height of the receiving antenna is increased, it is the distance of transmission also increases. So greater distance between antennas may be obtained by locating them on the top of the mountains. If we increase the height of the transmitting antenna and receiving antenna, or if we locate these antennas on the top of the mountains, the height of the transmitting antennas and receiving antennas can be greatly increased. Thereby, we can transmit the signal up to maximum distance. Any tall or massive objects will obstruct space waves since they travel close to ground. Consequently, shadow zones and diffraction will result. This is the reason for the need in some areas for higher antennas. Space wave propagation is widely used for all modes of radio wave propagation, mobile communication, TV transmission, ship-to-shore communication, aircraft control, microwave terrestrial links of 2 GHz, and satellite communication also makes use of direct wave propagation because of the line of sight propagation. There are certain limitations of the space wave. As a form of the electromagnetic wave radiations like light waves, radio waves are affected by the phenomena of reflection, refraction, diffraction, absorption, polarization, and scattering. There are reflections from the ground. If there are in-phase addition, no problem. Out-of-phase addition, interference, then the waves will be cancelled out. Refraction, they are penetrating through the different density medium. Diffraction, bending due to the mountains, etc. Absorption by the mountains of the ground. If they are parallel, the waves are parallel. Short circuiting of the electric field with respect to ground. And we have different polarizations, vertical, horizontal polarization. If the polarization is matching the polarization of the earth, then there will be a short circuiting, there is a scattering, the waves will be scattered in different directions instead of propagating through the desired direction. There are some limitations of space wave propagation. These waves are limited to the curvature of the earth. These waves have line of sight propagation, means their propagation is along the line of sight distance. Effective curvature of earth is also one of the important considerations we have to look for the space wave propagation. Effective curvature of earth, when the distance between transmitting and receiving antenna is large, curvature of earth has considerable effect on space wave propagation. The field strength at the receiver becomes small as the direct ray may not be able to reach the receiving antenna. Sometimes the distance between transmitter and receiver is more. The direct ray may not be able to receive the receiving antenna because of so much of attenuation in the channel. The earth reflected rays also there, they diverge after their incident on the earth. The curvature of the earth creates shadow zones. Due to that, for long distance propagation, the curvature of the earth is taken into consideration, and then we have to see that the direct ray energy should be received, ground reflected ray energy also received. If we are unable to receive the signals directly to the receiving end, we have to make use of the repeaters. So we have to see the distance between transmitter and receiver, height of the transmitting and receiving antenna considerations, and how much power level we transmit and how much power level we receive at the receiving end, and all these design considerations we have to keep in mind for the space wave propagation. Earth is basically imperfect and electrically rough. When a wave is reflected from perfect Earth, its phase changes 180 degrees. There are some reflections from the perfect Earth. If the Earth is perfect, there is a phase change. If there is a phase change for the wave, the direct wave and the ground reflected wave will be cancelled out and the energy cannot be received. That is the main problem. Imperfections from the Earth. But actually, Earth makes the phase change differ from 180 degrees. There is no problem. The amplitude of ground reflected ray is smaller than that of the direct ray. The field at the receiving point due to the space wave is reduced by Earth's imperfections and roughness. So if Earth's imperfection and roughness are considered, then the field strength at the receiving antenna is equal to vector sum of the field strength received by the direct wave and the ground reflected wave. If there are no phase shifts, so the phase shifts are small, then we have the ground reflected wave received properly. So we have to see the effect of imperfections of Earth. So Earth is imperfect and electrically rough. When wave is reflected from perfect Earth, its phase shift is changing to 180 degrees. But actual Earth makes the phase change difference from 180 degrees. The amplitude of the ground reflected ray is smaller than that of the direct ray. The field at the receiving point due to the space wave is reduced by the Earth's imperfections and roughness. So the EM waves that propagate from transmitter to the receiver in the Earth's troposphere is called space wave. Troposphere is the region of the atmosphere within 15 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. The maximum line of sight distance between the two antennas depends on the height of the each antenna. So this is transmitter. HT is the height of the transmitting antenna. This is a receiver. HT is the height of the receiving antenna. The signals are propagated directly, line of sight. Some signals, some electromagnetic waves will be reflected by the ground and then picked up at the receiving antenna. The field strength received at the receiving antenna is addition of direct wave and ground reflected wave. D is the spacing between transmitter and receiver, radio horizon. So the radio horizon or the distance between transmitter and receiver depends on height of the transmitting antenna and height of the receiving antenna. So the distance is given by the formula 4 root HT plus 4 root HR. HT and HR are the height of the receiving, transmitting and receiving antennas above the ground in meters, and D we are calculating in terms of kilometers. Now we'll see the applications of space wave propagation. It is used in almost all various communication applications like line of sight communication, satellite communication, radar communication, microwave links. So line of sight communication means antennas looking each other, there is a direct wave propagation. Satellite communication means from Earth station transmitter to the satellite, from satellite to the Earth station receiver. There is a satellite communication in the form of space wave. Radar communication, radar communicating the aircraft, for example, through line of sight communication. Microwave linking, point to point microwave applications, so we can make use of space wave communications. We can also make use of in mobile communication applications, TV transmission, almost all variety of communication systems makes use of space wave propagation nowadays. So in this lesson, we have studied about the definition of space wave propagation. It is also called as direct wave propagation or line of sight propagation. Space waves are direct waves which travel in a straight line. However, since they depend on line of sight condition, space waves are limited in their propagation by curvature of the Earth. We have also seen the properties of space wave. Thus, they propagate similar to the electromagnetic waves in free space. Space waves or line of sight propagation is useful at higher frequencies, that is VHF and UHF microwave. So this mode of propagation is through a troposphere, that portion of the atmosphere which extends from Earth's surface to height above 15 kilometers. So we can consider two paths for the reception. The radio waves from transmitting antenna reaches the receiving antenna through two paths, namely direct wave and the ground reflected wave. And we have to consider height of the transmitting antenna, receiving antenna. So if the height of the transmitting antenna and the receiving antenna are higher, we can cover more distance. That is the main advantage of space wave propagation. The radio horizon or the distance between transmitter and receiver can be greatly improved by increasing the height of the transmitting antenna and height of the receiving antenna. As we have seen that the distance between transmitter and receiver is given by the formula 4 root ht plus 4 root hr. ht and hr are in meters and d is in kilometers. If you increase ht and hr, then the distance of transmission also increases. And we have seen the various applications of the space wave in almost line of sight communication applications, satellite communication, point to point microwave links. We can make use of space wave communication. So after listening to the lesson, let us answer some quiz questions. The television broadcasting generally uses option A, ionospheric propagation, option B, ground wave propagation, option C, tropospheric scatter propagation, option D, line of sight propagation. So television broadcasting is through space wave because the antennas we are locating on the top of the buildings. So it is line of sight propagation or the direct wave propagation. Second question, the space wave propagation is also called as A, line of sight communication, B, direct wave propagation, C, both, D, none, both. Space wave propagation is also called as line of sight propagation. It is also called as direct wave propagation. Frequently asked questions. After listening to the lesson, one can answer these questions. Define space wave propagation. Explain about space wave propagation. Mention the advantages of space wave propagation. Mention the applications of space wave propagation.